The Braves have made several significant moves this offseason, and when I started this segment, I had 3 in mind. But we just got some news that they are declining the option of catcher Travis d'Arnaud, which is going to save them $8 million. That's how much the option would have cost, which means, in all likelihood, from what I'm seeing, it's Drake Baldwin season, who is the number one prospect in the organization. I believe he is MLB ready, and it looks like the Braves do as well. We'll see if they make another addition, but I have a feeling that they won't, and they probably are thinking, hey, Drake Baldwin probably going to be ready. Let's save that $8 million. And that's kind of been the theme early in this offseason with all of these moves, right? You save $8 million by not picking up that option with Travis d'Arnaud. You trade away Jorge Soler. That's $32 million over the next 2 seasons. Then you rework the contracts of Ronaldo Lopez and Aaron Bummer, backloading both of them. So they're making, I think, a combined something $10 million, $11 million this year instead of closer to $18-20 million. So all in all, you're saving $30 million for next season with all of these moves. And you think about what the Braves could use that money to do. Well, they should, with payroll rising, should theoretically be able to get pretty much
Juan Soto.
Whatever they, okay, yeah. Well, no, not Juan Soto, guys. I'm sorry. They're not going to be. I've been hearing some crazy numbers on Juan Soto. It makes my head spin. $700 million for an outfielder that doesn't play defense. Insanity. I mean, some of the stuff that, and I love Juan Soto as much as anyone. You get over $600 million from whoever gives him that contract, and I hope it's the Mets.
Baseball.
It is going
all
to be.
All of a sudden, Ohtani looks like a bargain.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like
when he's pitching, I mean,
we're talking some ridiculous numbers being thrown around, and they are going to be ridiculous just because of the teams that are involved, mainly the New York Mets, who look like they will not be denied. And I don't blame them. You got $23 billion. Who cares if you overpay for a guy and he sucks at the end of his career? Because you're going to have more money later in your life, and you're going to be able to spend more money. Yeah, just like why not?
Can't take it with you.
Anyways, the Braves clearly are shedding salary to make a big splash. It looks like this offseason, whether it's a 1-year splash, maybe it's a short-term deal like we've seen with Alex Anthopoulos, maybe it's for Max Fried, maybe it's for Willy Adames. I know a lot of Braves fans would love to see that. Unfortunately, they got to compete with the Dodgers, but they are shedding cash to make some moves, and I think that should excite people leading into free agency in the winter and trade season.
Yeah, all the other stuff is not surprising whatsoever. I mean, the Jorge Soler trade was the most predictable thing ever. We've been talking about it for the past month since the Braves were eliminated. The restructuring of Ronaldo Lopez's deal, I don't think was too crazy either, giving him that guarantee because you know what you got in him at this point. And Aaron Bummer as well. The only people who are surprised about Bummer are the guys who just don't watch ball enough because he's been damn good. For some reason, Braves fans just hate him. The Travis d'Arnaud thing is pretty wild because I don't know if it was Bowman or maybe somebody on the national scale. Somebody with weight was saying that the Braves were expected to pick up that option. Now, it doesn't make a lot of sense to decline it and then give them another, the Braves MO, they did it with Charlie Morton a lot. They've done it with Travis d'Arnaud, where they pick up the option and then just tag on another one at the end of it. They don't usually ever, decline the option and then give them a whole new deal, maybe for a lower price. But it seems like you're right that Drake Baldwin is incoming, and it's quite obvious. I mean, he's way too good for AAA. Now, that doesn't mean he's, going to come and be the Braves guy. We still have Sean Murphy, who should start at most of the games. I'm not ready to declare the Sean Murphy thing, a failure by any means. I still think he's a damn good baseball player. But, I have questions about how much could you really develop as a catcher catching a third of the games?
I mean, listen, I think you bring up a good point, one, that maybe potentially they do somehow still bring Travis d'Arnaud back. Maybe it's at a lesser figure. And we'll see as more news comes out. We don't have it right now. All we have know is that they are declining the option, and today was the deadline to pick up those options. But it does seem to me that they had a decision to make at the catcher position, right? With Drake Baldwin near on the cusp, being the top prospect in the organization, looking in all aspects, defensively, offensively, of being major league ready. You obviously have Sean Murphy here through at least 2028. But, Drake Baldwin was going to need a place to play next year, and he was going to need to start getting major league at bats. And there's obviously DH is not going to be an option. They're not going to just call him up to be a DH anyways. Travis d'Arnaud kind of became expendable. And especially when you're talking about saving money and trying to spend it elsewhere, if you think Drake Baldwin can give you Travis Darnaud-like production while making absolutely no money, less than $1 million against the space, it works out for all parties, right? Like you save money, you get your rookie some important development time at the major league level, get him accustomed. You're not asking him to go out there and catch every day because you do have Sean Murphy. So it kind of is like the perfect storm, perfect opportunity to save a little bit of cash. You love Travis Darnaud, especially what he brings in the clubhouse, but he's getting up there in age. Drake Baldwin is your top prospect, exciting star. So if this is the case, then it makes a lot of sense. You know, it's the perfect storm. And we talked about Drake Baldwin being a trade candidate. Obviously, this takes this off the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's just still a little weird because, you know, with top prospects, generally speaking, there's going to be lumps. There always is. But they usually have the opportunities to kind of work it out. Where, again, like, you know, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I'm giving Sean Murphy 2/3 of the starts all season. And how much can you really develop playing a third of the season? Is that crazy?
Well, I just don't really think I think
40 games.
I think they're pretty much. Well, it's going to be more than 40 games.
50 games.
It's like 55, but then they may give him more. I mean, it kind of depends how he plays. I mean, he could go out there and outperform Sean Murphy, and by the end of the season, we could be talking about him as the starting catcher and Sean Murphy the backup. Yeah, it would be a surprise based on their contracts, but I think, you know, he's good enough, he's talented enough, and the Braves aren't going to just hold him back because they're paying Sean Murphy.
It's a good problem to have. He can be
the highest paid backup in the league for all I care.
It still doesn't matter all that much or make that much sense. Let me just, you know, shooting from the hip here. Tell me if I'm wrong. Why decline Travis Darnaud's option? Pick it up, trade him. Travis Darnaud's a sought-after catcher. He's a veteran. He's going to give you something behind the plate, and he's pretty damn good offensively for the catcher position. Why not trade him? You're not going to get a ton for him, but it's better than nothing.
Probably could get nothing for him, and they might just think, hey, we owe it to you to go where you want to go.
Nice guy, Braves.
Yeah, and we'll see. Maybe they do pick up the option, but very, very intriguing development there that we'll talk about more in the week. That wraps up our show for today. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back with you tomorrow.